Hi guys, so today I wanted to do an update on the Kirsty Bentley case. I logged on to stuff.co.nz as I sometimes do, just looking to see if there's been any updates and any unsolved crimes. And what do I see is that Stuff Investigation, or their interactives people, have done a push in order to get new leads on her case, which is really exciting. So what's happened is that they've released their investigation called A Killer Blow, which basically retraces Kirsty's steps on her last day. And they've also released pictures of the crime scene, which includes Abby, the Labrador, who she took for a walk on New Year's Eve in 1998 and never returned. So basically, just to sort of recap, if you're unfamiliar with the Kirsty Bentley case, Kirsty was only 15 at the time. She had been shopping with one of her girlfriends and had a very nice, fun summer day. She'd come home and then she'd taken her dog Abby for a walk in a nearby park, and she never returned. Almost instantly, when her mum got home and realised that Kirsty hadn't come home, they called the police, and search parties went looking, particularly in the park where Kirsty said that she was going. Now, the next morning, her dog Abby was found tied to a tree and scrub near the Ashburton riverbank. I guess this means that someone went back that night after the searchers had gone home and put her there on purpose. Police have actually said since then that they think that this crime scene was staged. 2 weeks later, cannabis growers found Kirsty's body by accident in a forestry block in the Rakaia Gorge. This is 50 kilometres from Ashburton. And it was found that Kirsty had suffered blunt force trauma to the back of her head.
Huge search tonight in the mid-Canterbury town of Ashburton. Police fear foul play. The 15-year-old left home to walk her dog on the afternoon of New Year's Eve. The dog was found earlier today tied to a tree. Now being identified as belonging to missing teenager Kirsty Bentley. Murder, abduction, or missing. Searching for missing Ashburton teenager Kirsty Bentley.
The body was removed from an area near the Rakaia River.
It is Kirsty Bentley's body that's been found.
She was found lying in the fetal position, maybe suggesting that her killer had taken some care in the disposal of the body. She was fully dressed, but one thing they did say they noticed was that Kirsty always used to have her hair tied up. Now, in this case, she was found with her hair tie around her wrist and her hair down, which is of interest. So, in a bid to get more leads, the police have now released more photos in a hope somebody might know something. So, as I may have said before, police think that this whole scene was staged, with the dog Abby being tied to the tree. And they also have said that in this, they can't really pinpoint the offender type. It's been really hard for them to kind of decide who this person might be. Detective Inspector Greg Merton has said that there's just so many unanswered questions. Was it an abduction from the riverbank? Was it a local or someone passing through? Could it have been a neighbour or just someone who by chance saw her walking that day? Or was it someone close to her? Now, since last year, Stuff has actually quizzed dozens of people, including Kirsty's mother Jill, her brother John, and all three of the detectives who led the homicide inquiry. Now, this new article is basically revealing new details about Kirsty's movements the day she went missing and was later found to have been murdered, and those also on her father, Sid. What's really sad here is that quite a large amount of suspicion fell upon Sid and Kirsty's brother, John, and people close to Kirsty say that they thought it was really unfair because the public didn't understand their relationship. Police particularly focused on Sid because he couldn't give them a straight answer on where he'd been that day. Whether or not that means that he has any connection to her murder, is unknown, and he has since passed in 2015. So I guess what's really exciting about this is it's going to give a new injection of interest in Kirsty's case, and let's just hope, fingers crossed, that it may lead to an arrest, or at least some new leads like the Angela Blackmore case, which actually ended up in an arrest and a person pleading guilty to her murder. So I'll put the links down to the Interactive's article on this, and also I included Kirsty's case in my Unsolved Mysteries from the 1990s. If you want to watch that, I'll put the link to that down below as well. Thanks for watching, guys.
You know, part of my job is keeping it fresh and keeping looking at it and making those inquiries when I can, because we all want to resolve this for Jill and the family.
Had she lived, Kirsty would now be 35 years old.
She's not that little girl that got murdered. She's my gorgeous sunny girl. And I like to have it that way.
A girl whose murder is still one of New Zealand's biggest mysteries. Lisa Davies, One News.